guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly reading update for July 29th, 2018. Anyway, how is the year going by so fast, man? It doesn't feel like it during the week when you're working, but man, you get to the weekend, you're like, wait. Anyway, so we're getting to the end of July. Wow. Almost here. So, anyway, so I'm going to go through what I read, what I'm in the middle of, and what I'm hoping to do in the next week. So, so this book has been occupying my life last week and this week. So, I finished The Italian by Ann Radcliffe, so you can see that there's 2 books in this one. And I finished that, what day did I finish that? It was starting of the week, or middle of the week. I think it was like Wednesday. Anyway, that took me a little long. It was like 450 pages of a gothic read, and it was a little hard to get through, but I'm really glad I actually read it. I mean, other than the fact that this book has been on my shelf for many, many years, let's just say since college. I'm not going to put a number to it because that's embarrassing. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. I mean, it's been, you know, a long time, and I've had this is one of those classics that I always had on my shelf that I haven't read, both of these books. So, I read The Italian. Again, this is a Gothic written in 1797, one of the first, and definitely someone who made, Ann Radcliffe made them very popular. I would say her style is very dramatic. Her descriptions are fantastic though. If you want the Gothic descriptions, this is the book to read. She was super good at that. Like, and again, I am not huge on long descriptions, so that was hard for me, except the fact that hers are really good descriptions. I would say that was her masterpiece of this was her descriptions. Her dialogue had a lot to be desired. I didn't enjoy it most of the time, and I had a lot of problems where it went to telling me things and not showing me. So there's a lot of conversations or things that happened that I don't actually get to see, or it's just a paragraph of them, kind of what happened. And so that happened once in a while, which was kind of surprising at how long the book was, that there were so many times where I was being told something and not seeing it. So, and I'm not talking about like when someone's telling something that happened in the past, like a story, like, or, you know, a history of somebody, because that does happen in here quite a bit. But that's not what I mean. I just meant like during the, like, interactions with the main characters, it'll suddenly go from dialogue to, her just telling us what they're talking about. And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. It didn't work all that off. In here I didn't like it because it didn't work that well. But I am really glad that I read this book. It's funny because I made fun of it in a book or a story I wrote many years ago about Gothic reads and stuff, and it pretty much was accurate on how it's really dramatic. It's just, you know, oh, my parents don't like you, so, oh, well, don't worry, we'll still get married, and then, oh, the girl gets stolen by some people so that she won't marry the younger lord or whatever, you know. So it's just like, and there's, you know, it's all over the country they're going over. And then there's a twist in there though that I don't want to tell, but I was surprised at what happened. It was good. And then, as I said, she wrapped it up pretty good. I do think it's a little too much of a tight bow, but again, 1797, I'm not gonna get too upset about that. It worked really well by the end. I liked it. So I liked it in the end. It's not a book I think I'll ever reread. I don't know if I want to pick up the Mysteries of Udolpho. I don't know if you guys have read that. You guys have to let me know, because they claim that The Italian is her best, but that is the one that when you read Northanger Abbey, the other book, Mysteries of Udolpho, is the one that Catherine Morland talks about. So I kind of want to know, should I read that one too? I mean, I might have to wait a year before I subject myself to another Ann Radcliffe. But I am glad I read it, and I feel better about the fact that I've actually read one of those. And from you know, I don't read a whole lot from that time period, so I think that's pretty cool. So after that, I went straight into Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. Now, this was the only novel that I had never completed. I read 6 chapters back in college, and then I didn't need it for any of my classes, or the papers that I was writing didn't have any of the supposed themes that were in here were not, I didn't need it. My teacher said I didn't need to read it for that, and my professor, and I didn't feel like reading it at the time, so I didn't. I didn't remember anything about the 6 chapters I'd read, because again, that was many, many years ago. So I kind of went into this blind because I've never read Northanger Abbey, and it's always been one of those, I've always wanted to finish out the Jane Austen stuff, and I've done a really good dent now. I now only have a few of the short novellas that, like Lady Susan, the Watsons, and Sanditon. And so I have that book. So I have one more book left to read of some of her works. But really, I've caught up on everything. So Northanger Abbey was the novel that I hadn't gotten to yet. So I did, and again, I wanted to finish this book again from college so that I could say I've read this really old book. I did not like Northanger Abbey. I would say it's pretty low on the list of the 6 novels for me. And I think it is because what it is. It's spoofing some of the Gothic things, like that Catherine has the great imagination and she makes a lot of assumptions. And I think she's written brilliantly that way for being a 17-year-old and the situation she's in and how that kind of stuff. But there's sometimes where I'm like, her imagination really got away with her. And then there's some things that happen that I'm like, what? Like, so I didn't actually know that this story was really close to other Jane Austen novels, which is really, commentary with, people and situations. And again, they go to Bath and, they, go to the, assemblies and balls and things like that. And then she, is invited to a friend's house, I would say about halfway through. I thought that, and from the description on the back of this book, which is the only thing I've really gone off of for, the novel, was like talking about how it gets an invitation to go to this place, and it sounded like it was the main thing, but really it was just kind of like the next section in her getting to know these people. So, or next, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was not what I expected. I don't know. So if you it is not, I would not call this a Gothic read. I think there are some things that she plays with. Jane Austen is very smart. Like, it was really well done on what I think she was trying to accomplish. That does not mean that I enjoyed it. I can, as I have an English degree and having read a lot of Jane Austen, all the other stuff, as well as a lot of other novels, I can see what she did and I can praise her for that. But that does not mean I enjoyed it. I actually think the character, Henry Tilney is how it's said. Anyway, he was my favorite character because he was true to himself almost always. Not always, but very close. Of all the other characters, I was just like, I don't know. And Catherine just isn't me. I mean, it was hard to relate to her. And that was just my opinion, So that was hard that way. So, but overall, I'm glad I finished it. Like, I'm glad I finally know what Northanger Abbey is. So I don't know, do I want to watch one of the adaptations? What do you guys think? I've never watched a Northanger Abbey one because I didn't know the story, so I didn't want to do it, if that makes sense. Wasn't attracted to the story, so I don't know. But I might watch something. I don't know, we'll have to see. But again, I have trouble when things are changed. So you know how I haven't even gotten through North and South yet because the beginning was like right away different. Anyway, I am so glad that this book is done. Again, both stories, not my favorites, but I'm glad I made the effort and actually read this. So again, and I did this for Jane Austen July, for a couple of challenges. I didn't do all the challenges. I mean, I did 3 altogether. I got 3 books read for that, and I feel pretty good about that. I might be able to put in still a video of one of the adaptations, in the next couple days, but I don't think I'll be reading any more Jane Austen for a little while. And I do have a couple books that I want to read that are contemporaries of hers now that I just picked up. So anyway, I don't know if that was a glowing review or bad, but I'm glad I'm done for now. I'm glad that book, I've had that book forever and it's done. So the audiobook in my car that I have been working on all week is Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. And I am really enjoying this, and I identify way too much with a lot of the stuff in here. But I do like the way this book is getting stuff across. I like now that we're getting to examples that I didn't get from The Power of Habit, which was kind of weird because the first couple chapters, it was like everyone was the same examples I'd gotten in the other book for habits, and it was just funny, but they were twisted or done differently, so it was, I don't know. Anyway, so far I'm really enjoying this. I'm really close. I have, I'm listening to this as on audio CDs from my library in my car, because I've just decided me and nonfiction do better as audiobooks right now. So I think I have 2 discs left. I think I just put in, I just put in disc number 8. So I have 2 more left. So anyway, so I should be finished up probably by Wednesday. Probably takes me that long, because that's all my commute is. Mine's not a huge commute. So anyway, so that's really good, and I'm really enjoying that. So I finished Northanger Abbey on Friday night. I forced myself to stay up to finish that because I just wanted to be done. I was so tired of it, and I just wanted to be done. So Saturday I went with my family to a winery, which we do every few months because my parents are members there, so we have to go pick up their wine. Which is always nice because I get to go along, and my dad and I go and drink in the reserve room, which is my favorite stuff because it's mostly reds. So anyway, so we went up as a family, and we had a really nice day. But I didn't read anything because I'm with my family, because, you know, I mean, they're all readers, but it's just we don't, you know, I had to be social sometimes. So I decided to pick up a reread just to kind of tide me over, because Book2-a-thon starts tomorrow, which I'll get to in a second, but I didn't want to start any books early. I'm being stickler about this. It's just my choice. And I didn't feel like picking up anything new. I think because I just burnt out because of the classics in the last week. I just needed a break. So I picked up one of my favorite authors, Nalini Singh, and Archangel's Viper, which was last year's, I think book 10. I don't remember anymore. In the Guild Hunter, the Guild Hunter series. So book number 11 is coming out in October, so I'm really kind of jazzed for that. I was seeing stuff online about people getting to have arcs, and I'm like, oh, I want it, but it's no big deal. But I just decided to reread this. So I'm kind of just, I read about 100 pages yesterday, and, you know, it's just fun. If I don't finish it, it's no big deal. It'll just sit on my, you know, next to me, so when I feel like it, I can pick it up. But I figure today I'm going to probably read some more of this just to, you know, kind of while away the day, because it's gonna be nice and quiet here, and I'm gonna close up the house because it's supposed to be super hot. I think it's supposed to be high 90s today, maybe higher, and actually I don't want to know. So anyway, but I'm also gonna pick up Bleak House by Charles Dickens. Hold on, the drink is over here, and of course the cat goes for it. Anyway, with Katie's Books and Things, her 18-month read along. So I'm behind by 3 months, so I'm going to, and I haven't got to see the videos from May and June, because I haven't read. So my goal today is to at least read some of this, if not the whole chapters up through July's chapters. I think I have to read up to chapter, I don't know what that's, I'm starting chapter 8, is that right? And I'm going up to chapter 16. Something like that. So maybe I didn't finish. I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm going to attempt this today. As I said, I'm really enjoying this. When I read this a couple months ago, the chapters I did, and I just don't know if it's one of those ones where, you know, I'm going to get to a point where I'm just going to have to start reading it. So, but right now I'm still okay with doing the month things, although I'm behind. So anyway, I'm going to read that. And I mean, the only quick little synopsis I can give you is about a court case that affects everybody, because that's related to the people, because it's been going on for decades. And then, just to put it out there, I do have a TBR for Book2-a-thon. These are the books I'm hoping to read in that time. I don't know how much I'll really get. Cat. Ugh. Cooper. Anyway. Sorry, coffee. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to, hey, sorry. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, so I doubt I'm going to read all these books. I am not that fast of a reader, and I also have to work full time, and my mom is coming to stay on Monday night, because she's coming to hang out, do something, with my grandmother on Tuesday, and something with my brother on Monday, so, and I get her Monday night. She's staying at my place. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to get read, but my first book that I am starting, because I went by the coin toss, was Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Reyes. I don't know. Anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. The cat. Anyway, so how did your guys' week go? Are you guys excited for Booktubeathon? As I said, I'm more just, I think I want to read some different things. I've read like this month has been mostly classics, which has been great. I am excited with all the stuff that I read, but I am so ready to go back to some other stuff for a while. So I'm hoping to, as I said, get a lot of those little books done since it's a Booktubeathon, and just try to get some stuff done and catch up on Bleak House. Anyway, so how's your guys' reading going? I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Say goodbye to Cooper.